Hi, today we are going to be talking about what is inner child, what are inner child issues, and then what is inner child healing. So, for the ease of the video, what I have done is I have divided this into few parts. The first being what is inner child, second, we are going to be talking about our childhoods, third, what is the sign of that you need inner child healing, fourth, why do you need it, and fifth, how to go about healing your inner child. So the first thing that we need to understand is what is exactly inner child. We were all children once upon a time, right? In fact, breaking news, that child is still very much a part of us. It is still within us, even though like we are living this adult life. So whenever you sense issues in your life, like your immediate reactivity or your constant irritation, your lingering impatience, your sudden outbursts, tantrums, the feeling of abandonment, if your partner or your best friend tells you that they're going away for a 2 to 3 week trip. So, all of this is basically your inner child reacting to the adult life and the adult issues now. Let's understand this by going back into our childhood and understanding where these issues stemmed up from. Let's just simply talk about our childhood. So, all of us had a different childhood. Some of us did not experience love the way we wanted to experience it. Some of us maybe were born in dysfunctional families. Some of us maybe were born into narcissistic households, where either of the parent or both of the parents were narcissistic in their nature, or they were, having a very weird dynamic within themselves because of which we felt neglected. Then many of us were maybe also were bullied in school, had a lot of different sort of friendships growing up or difficult friendships growing up, that impacted our view on trusting people and being friends with people. Some must have experienced parentification. What is parentification? That is when you become a parent to your parent. So if your mother or your father, they were not very emotionally strong, then you might have been the one, who could have been supporting them, being their parent or being their friend at an age, when you were supposed to be their child. So that is called parentification. Any sort of emotional neglect or psychological neglect or physical neglect that you may have experienced as a child is what you are now bringing into your adult life, and this is all unconsciously. It's not even subconsciously. You don't even know that all of these experiences shaped you up. Why? Because growing up many a times you feel, oh, I was not very confident as a child, but now I am very confident. But are you still a people pleaser? Because if you are a people pleaser, then this is exactly the part that your inner child needs healing from. That why are you still a people pleaser? So not just things that happened within your family, okay, but these could also be factors external of your family. That as a child, whatever you internalize from whatever source, it could also mean relationship dynamics that you saw in some other families, that maybe like one statement that could have left a very strong impact on you. It could also mean that the friendships that you forged in your childhood, that teacher maybe who constantly made remarks about you, your performance, because of which you started developing issues within yourself. You started not liking yourself, started being self-critical of yourself. So both internal and external factors like that. So anything and everything in your childhood, that may have left an impression on your mind, and honestly that you are not even aware of. Because I'm pretty sure growing up, sometimes if we reflect back on our childhood, whatever things we were aware of, we usually try to fix them or we try to move past them. But all of the inner child work is basically all unconscious work, that you're not even aware of it, that all of this has been impacting your thought process, your reaction, your relationships with people, your relationship with your own self. And this is not just related to relationships with people. It could also be your relationship with your work, the way your relationship with your own self and your own values, that is courage, being proactive, procrastination, fear. So basically, to further simplify it, when you were born into this world, you were born as you, like you had feelings, you had opinions, you thought of things from a particular perspective. However, over a period of time in your childhood, you were taught or you were shut down on a lot of those feelings. Some of your feelings were dismissed. Sometimes you were taught not to straight away have an opinion. Sometimes you were taught, maybe in an abusive dynamic, to be quiet and not to raise your voice or not to raise your opinion, because this is how it is and you have to tolerate it. Maybe while being bullied, you were simply taught that you have to do things, to be liked by certain friends of yours, or you were bullied, constantly on your looks and other aspects. So all of this impacts the way we start viewing ourselves. So whatever goes into our unconscious and the subconscious mind, that is how we actually shape up who we are now. Whatever stays in our conscious mind, that we are able to change. So suppose if you say, oh yeah, I was bullied as a child, but I've been able to overcome it, so that's great, because that's a part of you that has been aware of that impact of a particular incident in your childhood, and now you have been able to change your story. However, for all those feelings that you have not been able to change for yourself, that takes up space in your unconscious and your subconscious mind. Now when that happens, what we do is we make our own mechanisms, our own structures, and our own understanding of how we should be dealing with things. And this is not necessarily something that is coming from a point of awareness. Not necessarily you are aware that yes, I want to be a people pleaser, or I always want to be a giver in a relationship. But these are often things that you keep on questioning about yourself. And whatever I have said till now is, pointing at traits, where you had a troubled childhood. So you grew into this person, who had no boundaries and people pleasing attitude, etc. But the same also applies to people who have deep rooted condescension in them, who are too egoistic, who have anger outbursts, who are always irritated. So if you have any issue like this in your life, then probably you need to do inner child healing. Now we'll move on to the signs that you might be needing inner child healing. This I'm going to read out. I pulled out a lot of signs from the internet and basis my understanding of what inner child healing comprises of. So I'll just quickly read them out to you. You see which one is relatable. In fact, if you feel that there is something that I haven't really added on here, so please make sure that you drop a comment below. So some of the signs that you require inner child healing could be that you're highly reactive. You overvalue independence, which basically means that you're always like, oh, I don't need anyone. I am capable to do things on my own. I can manage everything on my own. If you have destructing coping behaviors, so destructing coping behaviors here means that you get addicted to things very easily. You have a pattern in which you fall into relationships also very quickly and easily. You keep falling in and out of love. You have poor emotional and mental health. You have repetitive patterns in relationships, and again guys, not just love relationships, like even when it comes to work or friendships, you're constantly attracting similar type of people. You have codependency issues. The moment you become friends with somebody, or the moment you are dating somebody or entering a relationship, you immediately start being dependent upon them. You also suffer from quick detachment. So quick detachment also, it's not honestly very healthy in my personal opinion, because I believe that everybody should be at least allowed to process grief or whatever the emotion is, and then they should choose to detach. But choosing to detach immediately, that's not healthy. If you constantly gaslight yourself that, oh yeah, my problems are not important enough, or maybe I'm overthinking this, or this is not true. If you constantly gaslight yourself, thinking that my problems aren't real enough, or they are not important enough, what I'm thinking is not necessarily true. If you are a people and a partner pleasing person, if you settle for breadcrumbs, meaning that both at work or in relationships and friendships, if you are the person who's always making the effort, and if somebody just comes, once a month or once a week sort of to return the favor or to return, your gestures, you are okay with that, then I'm sorry to say, but you have inner child issues. Then deep fear of being abandoned or being lonely. So like a lot of people constantly tell me, especially when I do tarot card readings, that I have a fear that if I get into a relationship, my partner will die or they will leave me. So that is again your inner child issue speaking up. Then we have so many here. If you have too much ego, if you also have a need to justify your no, your yes, or anything that you don't want to do, or your unavailability. Suppose, hi, I know I had to call you, but I could not call you because so and so happened, but I hope we can speak today. Bye. You can simply say that, hi, you called me. Is this a good time to speak? Is this a good time that I'm returning your call? So all of these little things could mean that you have inner child issues. Being the giver in the relationship always, and that too soon, without like understanding if the relationship actually demands so much of you being always a giver in the relationship, and also being very soon the giver in the relationship, without understanding if this person actually deserves, this side of yours also or not. The need of being loved too soon, which is again codependency only. Being a people pleaser, or even being a people disliker or hater, because honestly, life is good and people are good. So suppose if you're just constantly hating on people, or you don't like people, then probably again you have issues that you need to work upon. If you're a hoarder of things, or of people, or of emotions, if you're one of those who's like, no, I can't let go of people, I can't let go of old friendships, I can't let go of this particular grudge I have that for that person. So all of this points to one thing. What is that? Inner child issue. If you're a super achiever, so that's also one of the signs. Okay, like if you're just constantly trying to push yourself and push boundaries just to become and have this super achiever tag in your head, not good. If you're self-critical, if you're too attached to materialism, if you're very rigid and you have this weird and obnoxious idea of perfectionism, if you're inconsistent, that is that you have trouble both starting and finishing tasks, if you're the one who likes to avoid conflict, or you are the one who's always the first one to mend conflicts, or if you constantly pick conflicts actually unnecessarily, if you feel responsible for others, or if you feel motherly or fatherly towards others, if you have a difficulty saying no to people, if you have problems putting up boundaries with your close friends and even family. So these are just couple of the signs which could actually mean that you could be suffering from inner child issues. Now we'll come on to the another very important aspect. What I personally believe is, whenever you want to start on any journey, you need to have your why is very clear. So when you are saying that, okay, I want to fix all of these issues in me, but why? Do you have your why clear? That is very important. I'm going to chalk out a couple of the whys for inner child healing, and how that can help you in becoming more better in your life and more happier in your life. But it's important that you figure out your own why. So I'm going to read this out too, please. So why do you need to fix your inner child issues? That is because you need to heal. You need to feel good. You need to be a better, best version of yourself, Also another thing, whenever you uncover your inner child, and whenever you have fixed it and healed it now, there are many a times that you also discover certain forgotten natural talents and hidden talents. Maybe as a child you were always a go-getter and this proactive person, but over a period of time you become like this person who always overthinks and who just doesn't do things proactively. So fixing your inner child can actually help bring that aspect of yours back. Then self-love, again very important reason of why you need to do inner child healing. Acceptance, and here I mean acceptance of your own self to you, okay, not like other people accepting you, otherwise you're pani daloing on all this work. You feel comfortable with your own emotions, and this is also emotion of feeling vulnerable, emotions of feeling too sensitive, or emotions of being like this extremely chicken-hearted person, because usually these are the signs that people get mocked at, and also these are the signs that people themselves do not necessarily feel very comfortable with. So being comfortable with whatever emotions you choose to keep and continue to experience in your life. So it's important that you fix your inner child, so that whenever in life you have any roadblocks, any issues, you at least know how to react to them. And that is when you perhaps do not feel exasperated, you don't feel let down, you don't feel you are letting yourself down, you don't feel cheated by life. So all of those emotions that we experience on a day-to-day basis now, we do not experience those once we fix things within us, because then our reaction and our perspective to everything becomes better. It's just that simple, things that you read and hear about in quotes and everywhere on the internet. But I'm here to tell you that it takes a lot of work, and takes acceptance, and it takes willingness, and also you need to work with the right person for something like this. So there are a lot more reasons also. You can of course go and Google it also, but it's important that you figure out your own why. Like for many, simply the why is that they get so tired of their own self, their own behaviors, patterns, the way they deal with things, and they just want a transformation in their life, and that's a good enough why. So one disclaimer here, as I think from all the daily messages and everything else that I put up on the page, that is that none of this is like a magical work, okay? It all takes years of work. It all takes true acceptance and willingness to transform yourself. And also all of this work now doesn't really ever stop. So it's not like that you're trying to reach a goal with this work कि 1 साल करेंगे 6 महीने करेंगे या journaling कर लेंगे 1 महीने and we are going to be fine. It's not going to work like that, because every now and then your life is going to have new challenges and new problems, and you need to figure a way of navigating through those. Each time those problems crop up, more blocks crop up, and that's when you again go back to your inner child and your inner self to understand that okay, now why is this block coming up in my life again, or why am I choosing to react in this particular manner. Okay, just a 1 second guys. Okay, so now we're going to understand okay, how do we start like fixing our inner child and what are the first few steps. So usse pehle thoda sa gyan, I'm again going to read this out. It's just easier for me reading things out. So inner child healing is a process of contacting, understanding, embracing, and finally healing the child within you. The child that you were, that got shaped up by societal, family, your own experiences and other beliefs. We heal that child so that you get healed in today's age and time. So the first self of yours that actually entered into this world, that has the capacity to experience wonders, magic, joy, innocence, love. And what we do is we basically reconnect with that self. Firstly, to discover phobias. So inner child healing, by the way, actually helps with phobias also. I forgot to mention that. So if anybody of you is suffering from a phobia, it might actually help you with that. Then it helps you to reconnect with yourself and deal with these phobias, these fears, these insecurities, or whatever your self-sabotaging behaviors are. A lot of us have self-sabotaging behaviors, both in relationships, work, self-growth, a lot of areas of our life. So your inner child can actually help, in healing that and fixing that also. So now we come to how do we start fixing, so now we come to that how are we going to be healing our inner child. I'm going to chalk out a couple of steps here. For the first few steps, you can do that on your own. For the latter few steps, I would recommend that you actually go to somebody experienced who can then help you understand your inner child and start your journey in a more customized or a private manner. Because if you were to lift up things from the internet, or if you were to continue your own journey, you may not actually be able to understand a lot of things about yourself, and an external opinion sometimes helps. In fact, mostly it does help, especially of somebody qualified. And by qualified, I mean therapists and hypnotherapists who can help you with this. So anyway, we'll come on to the steps that we can do. However, I'll list down all the steps for you. So the first step is that reflect on the timeline of your childhood. So what you do here is you divide your childhood into parts, like suppose 0 to 2 years of age, 2 to 4 years of age, or 2 to 6 years of age, 6 to 12 years of age, 12 to 15 years of age. So you divide your whole childhood into these parts. Try taking up until puberty or till your teens. Now what do? You take time with yourself, and for this, if you feel that I'm being very resistant, which is very normal, because literally you're asking yourself to go back into a time that maybe some of you don't even want to remember. People like who have a lot of deep issues or experience a very different childhood, maybe you don't even want to remember that time. So it is important that you do this over a period of days firstly, and secondly, you be patient with yourself. Okay, please, this point we don't have to get critical at all, because that will be the most stupidest thing that you do. You're learning how to not be critical and do all of this self work, and then you're like, oh my god, I can't go back to my childhood, what is wrong with me? So ye nahi karna hai, theek hai? So we divide the childhood into these fragments. Choose whatever fragments you're comfortable with. Take time with yourself. To pick up any video, play that music in the background, and just try to close your eyes and try to reflect and go back into that time, maybe between 0 to 3 years, and see what incidents come into your mind. So before you do this, now just set the intention that okay, I'm playing this video and I just want to go back to my childhood in that particular time frame, and basically you're telling your subconscious mind that okay, bring to me whatever I need to know about that time, or whatever I need to recall and remember during that time. And then whatever comes to your mind, you start writing that down. Okay, I mean, of course, not in the moment. You recall it, and then later on, like once you're done with that, you write it down. So you do this for all of these different fragments of your age. Okay, now whatever incidents, etc., you have picked up, you try to see points of commonality. Commonality meaning what parts of that, of these memories that were repressed and now you have recalled them, what parts of them are hurtful, what parts of them, where you felt as a child you needed protection, what parts of them, felt that, maybe you would have liked somebody to, be there for you, what parts of them ignited certain things in you. Example, maybe something happened in the age of 6 to 8 that made you suddenly be scared of a particular thing. So just make a note of all of these things and keep them on the side with you. Then the second thing that is very important here is that write a letter to your childhood self. So now that you have all of these memories and you have an understanding, the implication and the feelings and the emotions that you felt in those times with yourself, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be writing a letter to your inner child or to your childhood self. So it can be two things to start off from right now. It can be either a letter of apology, or it can be a letter of, that how you want to get to know them more. So the idea here is basically what, that when you were a little child now, there were certain things that happened in your childhood. So all of those experiences that shaped you up now made you this person which is sometimes very harsh on your own self, very overtly critical. There must have been certain things that you did as a child, for which you still feel that you could not forgive yourself. Maybe, one day like you said some joke casually, because of which, maybe there was a fight between certain friends, a fight between your parents. And because of all of these issues, you somehow felt, or maybe, that one incident made you feel that, oh, I should not be like talking a lot, in between people, or I should not be interjecting when, two people are talking. And maybe that became such a strong emotion of yours that now you struggle with actually having any opinions or saying things when you really want to say things. So all of this needs to be, so you need to basically apologize to your own self for this, that it's okay, that happened and I forgive you. Maybe, the fight anyway had to happen with them. I was just a catalyst. So irrespective of me, if not now, maybe 10 days later, the fight would still have happened. So you either can be apologetic to your inner self, or what you can do is, you can simply try and befriend them. That is that, hey, to my childhood self, I realized that in childhood you were so and so sort of a person. Maybe, you were depressed, you were lonely, you did not have friends, you had low confidence, you had body image issues, etc., etc. And I recognize you, and this is from me, that I am this person and I believe in this, and I would like to like become friends with you to understand you more and to help you start on a better journey. So, you can write something like that, or honestly just write whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel comfortable with, that's coming with the space of least resistance, just go ahead and write it. Then the third aspect, that is that you write a letter from your childhood self to an adult or to you. So that is that maybe, as a child you craved for certain things, that, maybe you craved for like right friends, maybe you craved for like a loving home, maybe you craved for like more confidence, better marks, better grades. So write all of that from your childhood self to your adult self. Now comes the other part. Now that is that this is where I feel that, you need an expert, somebody like a hypnotherapist, who can now help you decode all of these experiences, these memories, whatever it is that you experienced, and make you sense out of it, and also break free from certain of these notions and these experiences of your life. But if you do not want to invest in a therapist right away, and you feel that no, you want to like do this on your own, then what you can simply do is you can go to YouTube. There are multiple inner child meditations and healing videos. You can go through them. Because see, the letter, the reflecting on the timeline and all of these things are simply to make firstly ourselves aware and become a little bit more less resistant. Otherwise, when you'll sit down to do the meditation and everything, now you will not feel like doing it. Once you have this figured out, as a continued activity, what you can also do is you can do the Ho'oponopono meditation, which is basically telling yourself that I love you, I forgive you. And I think there are two more things in that. I can't recall that now, but I'll put it Nietzsche. So you can do the Ho'oponopono meditation, and then you can do affirmations. So affirmations also I'll be sharing in the comment box below for your inner child healing. But again, see, I have always mentioned it in all my videos and in all my posts also that I put out, that any sort of these affirmations or these meditations, etc., they're not going to function till the time you're not even aware that what is the issue you're trying to fix. So it's like that you have got a tape in your hand and you know ki acha, okay, something is torn and I have to fix it, but you don't know only what is torn, so what will you tape, right? So it's important that you do these exercises to simply be aware and do them, simply for yourself. Nobody is even going to read it. This is only for you. And why is it for you again? Keep telling yourself your whys, because you want to feel better, you deserve better. You don't want to live the life that you're living currently in your own limited mindset. So now, after you have done with all of this, the idea is basically, once you're aware with the letter, you've done the meditations, then the idea is that you're constantly just, reiterating to yourself by saying nurturing things, by saying loving things. See, the problem is that your child self in the childhood did not feel nurtured, did not feel loved, felt certain gaps and neglects, because of which you have become what you have become now. So now you want to go back to your childhood self and constantly keep on telling them that yes, you are nurtured, you are loved, I hear you, I agree that you did not deserve what you got, I am sorry and I forgive you. So I am sorry because you could not protect them, and I forgive you because your childhood self also started being very harsh on itself from that time, and that is who you now became, who's always like critical of yourself and harsh on yourself. So you have to constantly nurture that inner child. So that's it. I don't think I have anything else left. Let me see. Yup. I just hope this wasn't very exhaustive and like too much to understand about. But I would really suggest a lot of you do inner child healing, especially people who have taken the paid readings from me, and whoever's reading spoke of inner child issues. I think you should totally go ahead and start your journey on inner child healing. And as and when you need like somebody who can help you more with this, a hypnotherapist or therapist, let me know, reach out to me. I'll recommend a few to you. And for now, I'm going to be putting the Ho'oponopono meditation and the affirmations in the comment box below. Also, if you see this video and you're not following me, then please do give me a follow. Bye.